TV, and also want to say hi to the viewers, those who are watching right now.
Yeah, a very big one. Of course, a couple of things happening, and of course, if you look at how the FUFA drama has been, one of your activities that you did that for at least some time in for the region, and very many are looking into how did you people do it, because if you look at how you people participated, the first edition, second edition, third edition, now things are going on right here. Let's start with the vibe that has dropped. You would see that before the first edition, yes, people were there. Second edition was more of a vibe also. And then the third edition, now we're looking at how this drum shall end when it comes maybe to the 10th edition. Because every time there's a reduction, every time people who were so supportive are dropping off. Like for West Nile, we even see now they only selected people who are supporting the province team. And that shows you what exactly it is. And yet, you would need more support because the province itself, I don't think they have money. If you go to the province account right now, you can't, maybe you may not even know how much is, it may not even be there because these monies are always given away to players instantly. So with all that, that means there's a very, very big challenge that is happening throughout the province games. What could be the biggest cause?
Ola, thank you so much. Thank you once again, West Nile TV. Ola, by grace of God, and I was selected as one of the media personalities and appearer since the inception of drum. I had my training in FUFA House in Mengo, and I came out and we worked. I think I'd worked for 2 seasons as the PRO for West Nile province, that is in the FUFA drum. FUFA drum is about celebrating your ancestry. It brings in the different cultures together. Most of you can testify that wherever we go, people go and see the culture from the other regions. People have known they actually must fall. People have copied things. People have gone to Bunyoro. People have moved all over the world. Of course, it's about celebrating your ancestry. That's one beautiful thing that FUFA has brought. And to be very honest, at the beginning, it was on fire. It was on fire. A lot of things. So many people were following up. That happened to be in my regime. Of course, I worked for 2 seasons and I left. So I can't really go into details and tell you really what happened. But apart from that, you know, football is football. One, we like associating with the winning team. That's one key thing. Even if it's not the FUFA drum, but any football team in Africa, if you don't win, because we're not like whites. Whites, they release the fixtures for the whole season. They buy their season ticket. For the whole season, you buy your season tickets to watch the home games. So even if the team is being beaten, not beaten, you have paid, you know. So for us here, when a team is winning, actually more people go to the stadium to watch. But you know, when the team is not reaching the finals of the tournament, not quarterfinals of the tournament, people begin having doubts. That's one aspect that I have seen, and I think the technical team can improve on here to see that West Nile comes back to the top and people point to the stadium. 2, I think we have a culture of asking for accountability on an instant basis. We have done this, what have you accounted for? And you see, when we delay in accountabilities, we lose some trust in some of the fans. You see, whatever small people give to the team, whatever collections people, but of late I've seen some improvement in giving accountabilities from the gate. And of course, people sometimes they want to know the general accountability. Last year we did like this. What happened? Funds collected money like this. How much was collected? How much was spent? Do we have something in the account as we're heading to the new season? All these ones sometimes they attribute to the downfall, actually to the reduce the number of fans in the stadium and people who come and support. 3, it is now on individual basis, peer-wise. Who am I, Ziggy? Who are you to go and speak to a business person that please, I need your support to come to give some support for West Nile provinces, because literally there is no money that people have. When this drum comes, FUFA only facilitates teams when they travel away. Like you have a game to play in Lira, you are going to play Lango province, FUFA caters for your accommodation, caters for your transportation, and caters for your feeding. But if you're having your games at home, FUFA does not cater. So you use the gate collections at home, which is even always taxed, because FUFA has a lot of things, ticket printings, there's percentage, URA comes in, a lot of things. At the end of the day, how do you motivate the players? So basically, it is when you don't bring in all those, it affects the team. And if I have a business person that I really wanted convinced to come in to support this team, what language do I use? That is not on personal basis, on PR basis. At least at my time I tried, that's when you see up to now it's a record that actually must fall. I remember that game where we went to Gulu. Actually, the whole of West Nile was in Gulu. Hotels were not enough, food was not enough. At first, actually came here, found people, found the most, you know, the 80% of Warua, they are fasting, they are Muslims actually. It found when the whole town was fasting, actually came here, they beat West Nile 2-0. It found people, you know, when people are fasting, sometimes they're weak, they don't go for such events here and there. But 2 weeks after, when fasting was over, the way Acholis came here with their politicians, business moguls, everyone. I was the PR of that thing, brought something in my heart, it touched me. I remember it was at 3 a.m. after Acholis had beaten us. I wrote a very big letter in the WhatsApp groups. I said in many WhatsApp groups, asking our people, our political leaders, our businessmen, why should Acholi come and dominate West Nile when our people here were sleeping? Now they came, they beat us, they made a noise, they said we'll do nothing. Why aren't our people waking up? One of the people who responded to my letter that time, I can remember very well, was Atiku Bernard. Was Atiku Bernard, and then he picked it up, started mobilizing people. I think that's one of the things I'll never forget. It's one of the successes in my life that I'll always talk about, because if I didn't write that letter, it was in the middle of the night. Even when I woke up, Madam was telling me, "What's up, sweetheart?" I said, "No, there's something which
your madam calls you sweetheart?"
He calls me honey. Sweetheart is even not enough, he calls me honey. So he asked me, "Sweetheart, what's up?" I said something. I said, she asked me these things of football. At this time of 3 a.m. you're on the phone. But I remember I wrote a lengthy letter asking West Nilers. And that letter gave birth to support Acholi must fall. And you remember what happened in Gulu. So that's why I said some of the things. What language you use to talk to people? You know? So I don't know really. When I left, there are different people who came in representing, of course, the PR's work is to go and speak to people. Take the image of drum, the West Nile province there.
Sell it.
Sell whatever
come. Yeah.
Go to the radios, go to the institutions, come to TVs and talk to people, let people understand. When there are issues of gaps, accountability, what you fix them with the team in charge. Let people know about everything. I don't know how they have been doing theirs. But all this can, come to, the reduction in number in the stadiums. But everything has a room for improvement. Of course, we need to sit down now that the FUFA drum, the 2025, 2024-2025 is on. You are very much aware the preliminary games have been played because FUFA changed the formats. Nowadays they want 3-3 teams, and also our people are aware they have been seeded again with Acholi. Acholi has become a darling for West Nile. West Nile has become a darling for Acholi. There are a lot of things that are happening in between these two provinces. So I am sure the leaders can go back to the drawing board and sit and reorganize and see what we can do so that we get the whole support back. But there is nothing as beautiful like football. There is nothing as beautiful like the drum, because it involves culture. You get to know new people, you get to know new languages, a lot of things. So it's worth supporting.
Okay, now let's leave that there and look at the aspect of how you had all that it happened, and West Nile has won this once. Probably we're expecting to see them win more and more. Those are some of the things that will be coming right there. But via people's participation, you said sometimes it's about the trust that has not come through. Two, maybe the publicity is not enough. Drum as Drum, how much should the West Nile Region FA put? How much effort should they put? Is this a Drum that is a body that is independent, or it's under West Nile Regional League FA? That's one question very many would want to know, because if that is it, how much does the West Nile Region FA put? What effort do they put?
Well, thank you so much. I think when it comes to that, there's some bit of technicalities, and football in the region is being managed by West Nile.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're speaking because you're not speaking as their PR, you're speaking as a journalist who probably is giving his view.
Football is being managed by
maybe during your time. How much they give? How much support do they give?
I want to be very honest, and one thing is the FA, West Nile Region FA, should really do a lot, because I see most of the technical people who are always handling their different departments as per setup of the Drum. Most of these people come from the FA. And I think, I am sorry to say this, there is that laxities. Somebody comes because in FA I am so and so, I hope to be in this position. You bring this person there because he has been so and so in FA, you give a position in Drum, and this person tends to relax. I think that is what is taking the service deal, is taking the whole thing down. So whoever comes on board through the FA must make sure that this person works to the fullest, because now you are representing it cuts across your
the entire region,
all the region from the gates. If I've been the PRL for the West Nile Region Football Association, when I'm given the PRL job for Drum, I should not do it like the way I used to do the one for the West Nile, because Drum is wide. It is really, the FA is the biggest body, but the Drum, there are other things you need to add on to make sure that it goes to the fullest. So basically the FA should give it 100% effort to make sure they support this Drum. Because why I'm saying this, one, some of the gate collections during these days of the matches, it goes to the region. You give it to the region. Percentage of the gate collection, always you see a green light Barakoro, we have gone to a Jumani where playing these games, it goes to the region. So the FA should actually do a lot. And the other issue is, as an individual, as Zigzaga, I would think every season the FA should be organizing elections to see where somebody has, it's now democracy. People should vote in. The new people, really, we think Owen can do this better. I want Owen to be the team manager. I think Ziggy can do this better. I want Ziggy to be the goalkeeping manager. So FA should take some of these things serious, because some of these things people come to learn them when they just release the list that so and so is now this, so and so is this, so and so. Though there is a technical person in the names of the team manager who always handles the technical bit of it, with the support from the FUFA EXCOM in the region, who is being led by Ariga Rasul. They always look at the coaches. The issue of summoning the players depends on the technical team, that is the coaches. But someone in the technical team is the team manager of the province who always does that. But the other department that makes sure that all the players and all everything, welfare, all these, they align their different departments that people handle. People should put in their voice there. If I have done bad last season,
you should be voting. Ratings should be there. How much has this done? How much has
performance appraisal is very important. You do. If I've not been doing good, put it. Let people look at people. Not only all these 13 districts from Pakwach up to Jumani. There are so many people who are capable of doing this. So FA should look at the West Nile region. FA should look at some of these things serious. But above all, of course, the preliminary stages are on. What I can tell you also, when I was coming here, I tried to get 1 or 2 info from the interim manager. He want to appreciate people. The West Nilers of recent, the Drum team under the West Nile Football Association, they had the fundraising in Ajumani for one of the former footballers, the former captain of West Nile Province, Anjovuko Sevia. The Drum team, of course, won the game 3-0, but the most important thing here, Sevilla got an injury, a serious one, needs surgery, and they happened to raise some money, which is, I think, above 9 million, which is going to help this. So the plan for the province as per what the manager told me, is of course they are going to do regional tours. They intend to go to Koboko, they intend to go to Bongi, Madiokolo. This is all in their plan before we go to the really game when the drum begins. So I was asking support from the people. Of course, when the drum season begins, people should come and support. And their target is recruiting and identifying new talents. Like he told me in Ajuman, they're identifying 2 guys. There is a 16-year-old, 18-year-old boy who is very good. And they're identifying new talents they put in because they want the drum set up to look very organized with the young players. And one of the guys who scored a goal in Ajumane, when a drum beat Ajuman Select 3-0, one of the guys, a new recruit from Paida Black Angels, he scored a goal. So that is the beauty of it. Whenever they come to Madiokolo, they look at who are good. 1 or 2 guys they pick in, they put in the drum team to make sure. They go to Paida, they look at new guys who are good. Because each and every season, football keeps on producing new talents.
Okay.
So the drum is getting back, and it's going to be bigger and better. Let's embrace it. As West Nile, we should be as one body and rally behind our boys.
A very big one, of course, impressive. I could say would be coming, but our business community and the rest always get involved because these are things that come. You see something that has come through. This is business being brought into the team. You have a lot of things that are brought into. That is the region where these games are going to be played. And most of the times you've seen challenges where West Nile itself has challenge with pitches. That you will only maybe go to Paradise Stadium and have Green Light Stadium. The rest of the districts may not have those pitches to take these games too. And it's one factor that I should say. Others feel they are left out. Why are these games not taken to their places? But I remember even when it was taken to maybe at Luo grounds, there were a lot of challenges. Even the players themselves complained that maybe the pitch affected them a little bit. But you would see that these are things there. So some of these factors, I don't know how we can cap them up to see that we avoid totally. Because if you look at that edition you were in, even people from Sudan came to go and follow. West Nileers from Sudan still came. West Nileers from Congo, from Kampala. There was Team Kampala, there was Team Sudan, there was Team Ajumani here. And this is not what is happening right there. I don't know whether does that fall under mobilization or it falls under you or the public relations department or the marketing. I really want to know.
Basically, that falls under mobilization. How do you mobilize? Of course, it comes from the.
But how was it very easy for you to get some of those mobilizers? Because Team Kampala had the mobilization team.
You know, I am different from you. If you come into that position, definitely you have your own things. I have my own creativity that in doing my work. How did I get to mobilize people of Ajuman and what? Believe me, during my regime, it's one of the best regimes that I have loved. I have happened to enter all the media houses in West Nile at no cost. I come, I say I'm the PRO, my name is Zigzag, I'm coming to speak on behalf of Drum. There are radios in Goli that I didn't know. I have gone into them because of how I do my mobilization. I go to Paida FMs, I think it was my first time to enter there. So a lot of things that I have done. So you have to sit down and make a work plan. How will I speak to people? Which people are those? How do I mobilize them? It's very important. How do you connect? You know, you cannot doing everything alone. You know, people love football. If you make a phone to Kampala, there are guys in Arua Park in Kampala who follow. Even, you know, as Undu Paraka goes there are people who follow this team. A team from here goes there, from Western Isle, there are people who talking to them, you know, let's build a committee and make sure we support our province because this is where we are born. This is our region. Are we going to run away from it? No. So how do we mobilize? They sit in their meeting, they keep sharing. This is what you know. Be very transparent in whatever you're doing. Be very creative in whatever you're doing. So the creativity differs. Mine might be different, yours might be different. Maybe that's why I say it.
Maybe because you have been a comedian and they know you.
Comedy and football is not really so much, but maybe
because of entertainment.
Maybe because of my character, I don't know, but I can't judge myself. It's somebody else to judge me. But above all, it is something wherever we go wrong, where we are not performing, we always make sure we wake up and perform. Two, playing these games, not that these games are being scheduled just like that. FUFA has to go before these games begin. FUFA sends a technical team to go and assess the pitches all over West Nile, given by the region's FA. You can go to Barakoro, you can go to this, you can go to this, you can go to this. You remember in Nebi, you saw how the pitch gave guys who played there, drop, but these boys went to Kampala and they won the game. You see? So the issues of the pitches comes in sometimes, you know. We also we put politics a bit in this beautiful game, which sometimes, you know, affects the game. Two, because there are also so many factors. We are taking assuming if they say the people want to say now we want the game to go to Madiokolo, is there a hotel that can accommodate around 60 people? Because the visiting team will come, the home team will be there.
The spectators will come.
Spectators will come. Officials will come. Is there a hotel up to the standard that FIFA wants, which will cater for? Because also they don't want their staffs to be, you know, just in any other hotel.
Insecurity.
These are some of the things. Is the security? These are some of the things they consider first. But above all, if a game is taken to Paida, that is West Nile. If a game is taken to Ajuma, that is West Nile. If a game is playing at the Greenland, people know this is the heart. And Arua is the city, and most of the games, if people have played here, Namutima has all what here at Greenland because of Arua's, you know, the capacity to handle the hotels, the security, and everything. So I am sure there is a plan to flush these games, all the other regions. But when they meet the standards that FIFA wants.
All right, thank you so much. Our time is really running very fast, and normally when you're the Zigzaga, you'll have to know what exactly Karim will tell you. A lot of things that he has here with us. But of course, I did tell you that also there was the sessions where awardings went on for that is the best. In fact, FIFA came back with the FIFA awards. Remember, the last time this award took place, I think, was when Mohamed Shaban won a car. And from there, it has been a little bit down and down. Who this time round won that car for that is the 2024-2025 season? We'll be coming back up next after this short commercial break, but when we come back, we'll be giving you more of the updates in the next remaining 15 minutes that we shall be in the studios with my man Ziggy Zaga, who is right here, and that will be another beautiful one. But you can keep dropping your messages on our handles, and at the same time, even mostly on the Twitter handle, ask us questions right there. We shall be answering right there. And then internationally, very interesting stories that are also coming right through from there. Now, NEC Football Club also did have what is called the award ceremony. Who got what will be coming right up next. Let's take a break.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. Entertainment with Azam TV, the most affordable pay TV around. Visit any of our agents or call 0312-308-900 for more details.
Azam TV, entertainment for everybody.
Balo Industrial Park, New Home, Xiaomi, and Tico Safari Lodge, and lead sponsor Tianao Furniture Manufacturing.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
Welcome back from Weso Time live on your screens, and a lot of things that probably we shall be are looking into for this very day. But I can tell you, Owen Zaga remains my name with the Toko Karima. Toko Zigzaga, he's right here. He will be giving us whatever we talk about. But all in all, we're just discussing the drum. Now let's get to how FUFA has come up with structures here and there. Of course, on several occasions, we've seen what has happened. Now, awards went on Ziggy. The last time this award went was 2024, yeah? After, of course, a lot of things. Now, 2015, we did say Farouk Mia and Sandra Naweteme, who won that. Then later on, 2016, when Onduparaka Football Club was a hot cake, it was Mohamed Shaban who got that car with, of course, the lady by then was Hasifa Nasuna who got that. Then there was Muzamir Mutiaba and Faizo Ikweput, who, of course, in 2017 got an award. Moses Waiswa and Ruth Aturo also got that car that was organized by FUFA. 2019, we did see Alan Okello and Juliet Nalukenge, who also got that car and probably their award. Then Bobosi Biarohanga and Faizo Najemba were also there. But in 2022, they didn't hold these activities. And 2023, they also did not. And then 2024, Dennis Omedi and Zaina Naba, of course, Nandede, who got the award themselves. They were the general winners. So this season, it was Dennis Omedi and, of course, the lady designer. So what do you say about these awards?
Well, it's one of the beautiful things, of course, in football. You can see worldwide FIFA does these things, rewarding the best players. You know, it motivates. It motivates the footballers themselves, of course, to put more effort, and also you market yourself to the outside world. Now you see, 2016, Jackerson's voting was one of the interesting. As if people were voting for presidential elections, you know, it was actually West Nile against the other Uganda, the rest of Uganda. Jagger was playing in the local league, and Dennis Onyango was playing in Mamelodi Sundowns, and up to now, you see competing with somebody who plays in one of the first-class countries, and you vote. It was a very massive mobilization. At the end of the day, of course, people saw a Jagger's form that season. It's one beautiful thing. Of course, this awards, one, it motivates you, it markets you. Now, a Jagger does not play in Uganda anymore. He's out. So he's getting good money more than he was getting here, which is one thing. Plus, I actually don't know 2022 or 23 that it was not organized for 2 seasons. I don't know the reasons, but you know, all these ones, sometimes they also sponsors for it. When FIFA doesn't find a sponsor, sometimes you see the things go low. Just like
I remember that time it was Airtel that sponsored and gave the card.
So, but above all, these awards should be there each and every year, just like, you know, organizing Miss Uganda each and every year. You should be able to look at these sponsors early. You look for them early. A sponsor A fails, you can send the idea to sponsor B, and you see how to pick up, because the motivates the footballers.
But all in all, that is Omedi. He's the man, of course, from just nowhere to somewhere. He gets himself, and he has gotten gigs outside, and now he's playing out of that is the country. A good move, but at the same time, Uganda will also be departing for that is for Marrakech, that is Morocco. That will be going on there. According to, I mean, they went yesterday, according to the reports, and they had the moments in there. Now, some players were summoned, and out of that, those players, some of them who have been added. Around 8 foreign best players have been added into the team, including names like. The Buonos, Elio Caprodosi, you talk about names like Alan Oyuruth, and then you talk about Bobosi Biarohanga, Isaac Muleme, and then there's Steven Mkwala, names like, of course, Toby Sidik, who has also been added, and Jordan Obita. Now, if you look at the Cranes whole squad, I want you to tell me who you think we should is missing in here. Ismail Watenga, who plays for Golden Arrows, has been summoned in South Africa. Of course, he plays. Alonzi Nafian, who also has he plays for Defense Forces in Ethiopia. And then you have Joel Mutakubwa, who plays for Bull Football Club. And then there's Hannington Sebwalunya, who plays for NEC Football Club. Whereas defenders like Elvis Buono of St. Mirren FC in Scotland, and you have Nico Wadada of Viper Sports Club, Elio Caprodosi of AS, of course, Cittadella of Italy, and you have Arnold Odong of Sports Club Villa, Toby Siddick of Wigan Athletic, and then you have Hillary Mukundani, who was also right there for Vipers, though he didn't play the finals of the Uganda Cup. Jordan Obita of Habernin, and then Isaac Mulemi of Victoria Zekov, that is in the Czech Republic. In the midfield, you have names like Bobosi Biaruhanga, you have the names like Kenneth Semahula, you have Alan Oyero, who plays for New England Revolution in the US, Enoch Sebagala, Abdul Karim Watambala, Alan Okello, Travis Mutiaba, who plays with Bodu. Then in the forwards, you have names like Dennis Omedi, Hakim Chiwanuka, Shafiq Nana Kiziro, of course Kireza, then Rogers Mato and Stephen Dezo Mukwala, not forgetting Usama Arafat, and then Patrick John Kakande and Ivan Himbisibwe right there into the names. Someone was asking, what about Mohamed Shaban?
Well, Mohamed Shaban, you can't really understand, because of course these names are being summoned based on consultations. Of course, like maybe he has also issues, maybe injury wise here and there. That will be best answered by actually the team handling that. All the players that are being summoned, they even communicate to you, you are being summoned for ABC, and then your team has to give a report. But of recent, of course, I see him here, and I've seen him training. Maybe he's trying to pick up from an injury, trying to get backward. But of course, there are reasons why some of the names are being, they are not being there. But it will be fruitful also to include him there. But all in all, the striking department that has been summoned is the actual one of the best that can lead Uganda. I want to tell the viewer that since Paul Put came in, and there is a football flair that Uganda Cranes has been playing, that all of us, the fans, as Ugandans, some of us, most people are really enjoying. You play that Kawa type of football, even if you're beaten, but still you maintain that type of play. And the selection criteria has really been on merit, to the best of my knowledge. All the guys who are being summoned, they are very happy. Even if you don't play, you play, but you make the cut. That's one beautiful thing. And two is they are giving chances to the young lads, which is a very good. Now you see Allen Oyrov.
From just here, he was from Pakwach Youngsters.
From Pakwach Youngsters, now playing in the US League. And you have been summoned to the national team. This is a plus. You give chance to the young guys. I also want to thank the old generation of Cranes. Nowadays, guys think, at least I need to give time to you see, the Den Michonyango started this. You see the masters, those all retired, because they also want their young boys. Maybe they might have produced even footballers. They also want them to come and replace them, which is a beautiful thing.
Okay, I think there's going to be a very big one, because I need to get to Shaban and see what exactly. But at first, he was on the list of the people traveling, by the way. He was even the main man on the poster. If you remember the first artwork that came in there, they had written Jagason Mohamed Shaban. But according to the reports coming by yesterday, that he did not travel with the team, and he said he was not going. Of course, he was replaced by John Paul Dembe, who of course traveled. But now we need to find out why Shaban withdrew from the national team. So just like said, maybe injury issues, maybe some contractual issues.
Maybe some had also family, personal issues. That's why I said when there's someone you,
because I don't think it's going to
and they communicate to you. If there are other issues, that was the previous list. His name was there, but now in the traveling list they say he withdrew and they replaced him. So there might be an issue that really needs to be, to be followed.
All right, of course, that's what's there now. We get into some of the international stories right there, because our time is up. And on the top story coming up right this afternoon, indicated that Brian Mbwome has decided to give a priority to Manchester United, saying he's going nowhere, and he is desperate to see that he gets in there now. Fabrizio Romano reported that, of course, with one of the top journalists called David Onesten, who reported also the same in there. So it looks like it's real. And as I talk, the clubs are already going for negotiations, club to club, and due to follow soon with that is Brentford in there. What gives a player to move to a club like Manchester United? Of course, you refuse everything. That's one big thing, maybe.
Well, I'm a Chelsea fan, but Man U is a brand. Of course, if you look at the Forbes report that was released 2 days ago, it's still one of the most valuable teams is Manchester United, and that every professional player will have to associate to. And professional players, if I am going to Manchester United, will I play? Will I get the time that I've been having in my previous team, in the team that I've played before? So they assess all these things and they go there to do their best. So that also the name, keeps moving out there. And I am sure that's how Mbeumo has decided that he's not going anywhere and he wants to remain in the Premier League, though the reports are that there are so many other teams that have been targeting. He's a good player, a player from Cameroon. He's one of the teams that really carry the flags of, Brentford. And he's really a good player. I'm sure he will do a lot for Manchester United. All what has been happening with that team in the front there.
Yeah, of course, two players into that team. You talk about Wissa and the man by the names of Mbeumo, who have been so good. Now, of course, in other stories also, Bruno Fernandes, still for Manchester United, says no to Saudi Arabia. Al Ahly saying he's not going anywhere, he's remaining to the club, and that's one big one, probably from the Manchester United books. And still talks about Rashford continue. But all in all, you have another big one as Arsenal are looking at top notes. The man by the names of Sesko. Now, between Sesko, Benjamin, and Gyökeres, Victor, who would you go for? Because I am meant to know, after deep following up, Gyökeres is wanted by the sporting director. But for the coach, it is Benjamin Sesko. So there are already two conflicting issues.
Well, also that's something that I wanted to bring in. In your team, if you don't agree at the end of the day, you'll have, different sides to talk. I'm told Arteta is going for Sesko, but the sporting director says he wants Gyökeres because he has been on fly colors, scoring goals. Maybe as a coach, Arteta has his own plans to build on Benjamin to make sure that because he has seen something in him that he's the best person to fill in that. But when the sporting director, who is your boss, says A, B, C, D, sometimes also need to adjust. But above all, these are good strikers.
So between the sporting director and the coach, who is supposed to do all these recruitments?
Recruitment is done by the sporting director based on the technical passions, who is the coach's advice. I am sure if we bring in this guy, he can fill in the position that last season we didn't have, so he can deliver to the best.
Now, good news for Chelsea right here. Darien Isugo, who has also crossed over to that is Chelsea. According to Fabrizio Romano, it's a here we go, and the agreement with the sporting team is done, and medical has been completed. It's going for 22 million euros, and of course, that fee. Then he's 20 years of age, and all years of age. Of course, a good midfielder right there. Would this add something into your books as Chelsea?
Chelsea's long-term plan is Chelsea actually is doing recruitments for the long-term plan, and you see all the recruitment. These are guys all below 23 years. Now Dario Shogu is 20 years old. They really want to build in a team for future, because currently, if you look at Chelsea, you have Romeo Lavia, you have Angel Fernandez, you have
Caicedo,
the masterman Caicedo, who are there. They are trying to do everything. And this guy who was brought from Leicester, who plays mostly left, I'm just forgetting his name. So it's one of the things. You see such people like the Darius, you bring them and you leave them, you send them maybe on Tono, they keep on developing, maybe in future. And also it's good to, Chelsea started very perfectly, but when Chelsea got hit by injuries of the key players and the replacements were not there, that's when the team dropped completely. So it's upon the technical team, should I bring in a Shogu to the team this time? I am seeing so many young players who are supposed to join Chelsea after signing them. This guy, they say, is now the king of Brazil. Estavo. They also want from Palmeiras. So it's about a plan how you want your team to look like now and in the future. But I've seen
there's a
most of
key
the
player from
signing-
Chelsea. Of course, he was from Sporting Lisbon. He's called Queda. And this player was worked with Ruben Amorim, and he in January Chelsea had to sign, because remember, Ruben had vowed not to sign a player from Sporting Lisbon until summer, but in January he needed him. But Queda also crosses to Chelsea. He's very good, electric, and good with the left, and he has always been very there. Now, so young players getting into team, I think it's going to add a lot into the Chelsea team. Of course, people should watch out for that player. And I was watching clips of the incoming is Sugu. He's very good. He has gotten a lot of things for Chelsea, and I believe there will be a rating things up here and there. But all in all, let's look at how things will be ending. With all that, I would love us to summarize. What would be your summary for that? Is the viewer right there?
Well, football is fun. Football is something beautiful. Actually, it's one of the sports that unites the world, and it's of course the most popular sports. I am so much into local football. By the way, you see me here. Whenever there is a Premier League game and my local team like Onduparaka is playing, I first have to go there because it's easy. I will come and watch the replays of the Premier League. So we have local teams that we keep supporting them, we keep following them. Wherever we don't go right, please, you have meetings, you amend things. We reform and we get to the drawing board. These things of blaming people here and there, I am not part of that. Politics in football, I am not part of that. The drum team, West Nile Drum, is coming back. Please, let's embrace it and support our lads. And you see, I'm very sure this time, from the reports that I'm hearing, that people get to love the squad that is coming, because it's going to be a squad like Chelsea, you know, young guys and with some experienced guys also want to support the team each and every time. So let's embrace all the other sports, sectors. I'm seeing now we also have boxing in Arua City. Is one impressive things. You know, during holidays, you send your children, you get to learn some of the fees. You bring your children. So that way, you know, at the end of the day, Uganda is drug-free. You know, when the kids are not, given time to go and learn sports, they end up going, you know, others going to drugs. You know, now so many of our children into drugs, others are thieves. But when, as a parent, we embrace the sports and make sure our children are into sports, at the end of the day, nothing goes wrong.
Okay, thank you so much, viewer, live on West Nile Television. That was the summary from my brother, Ziggy Zaga. Of course, the man himself, he's the one of the biggest comedians in West Nile region, probably in Uganda also, right there. So support him via comedy. That is the part of comedy. But when it comes to sports, he also loves sports. So entertainment and football are always the same. These are two different entertainments at the same time. So keep it hooked to West Nile Television. Up next movie on your and producers bring you the best.